Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris coming at you from my channel I Am Toys. This is a brand new review of the Blitzway Hannibal Lecter dual figure set. They both come separately, but you can actually buy them together too if you want. They come packaged together, if that's close enough for you guys. But anyway, hit that 4K option now on your browser, and get this video, and basically it's full quality. So once again, Blitzway has put out a controversial release, at least as far as some fans are concerned and some collectors are. I remember when Tyler Durden first came out, there were people losing their minds. Bad cell phone pics were being taken, and pre-orders were getting canceled. It was wild, and eventually better pictures came out. But for those of you that don't know, kind of tuned into my channel for the first time, I was the first video reviewer of the Blitzway Ghostbusters figures. I was given the chance to get those before market release, and I was able to do the review on them kind of as a way to circumvent all the nonsense that was going to happen, that happened with Tyler Durden, and I was kind of happy to participate with that. And that was done in conjunction with Time Walker Toys with Steve. And that was a pleasure to kind of partake in. So we didn't do this. We didn't do that this time around. There was no joint release or any kind of forwarding these figures to me. I didn't get these early. Kind of pictures just came out again, and as usual, people like to take full frontal face shots in their shit warm light living rooms with their cell phones. And it really aggravates the shit out of me because it washes out all the detail. People lose their fucking minds, and then, oh my god, the figure's horrible. Oh, this is the worst that figures that they've ever put out, and this and that, dude. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's like it just makes me so angry. Like, it's like, stop, man. So these are the figures right out of the box, pretty much. Obviously, especially looking at the one on the left, that looks like fucking Hannibal Lecter. That looks like Anthony Hopkins. If it doesn't to you, I'm sorry, you really do need to get your eyes fucking checked, because that's Anthony Hopkins. We're going to get into some of the tooling of the head sculpt, later on, but we'll kind of get into that as we're going through it. I'll take him out of the gurney a little bit. I'm not going to completely unclothe him and everything else, but I'll show you the back and whatnot, because some people were asking if you could undo the straitjacket and actually take it off. Obviously, it was put on, so obviously you should be able to take it off, at least easily, hopefully, anyway. So that should be a given as a yes from here, but let's kind of get to it, and we'll address different aspects of this release. All right, so here's the close-up of the head sculpt. Here it is, full resolution. Pretty much looks exactly the same way that my pictures that I originally put up in the groups and the ones that I have on Instagram. I have one up on Instagram right now, and as you can see, it looks the same. It hasn't been photoshopped. There's no changes to it. The sculpt looks the same. People were kind of griping about the paint application. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, really. I mean, when I'm looking at this paint application compared to other paint applications on Hot Toys, I'm really not seeing a difference that much as far as this and some of Hot Toys' work. Enter Bay, I've seen thrown out there as a comparison to as well. I've seen some paint applications between Enter Bay, Hot Toys, that are all still on the same caliber. Some are better than others, some are not. Particularly the paint application that was applied to one of the more recent Harley Quinn releases. They were terrible. J.C. Hong is, one of the best painters out there, at least in the professional business right now for Hot Toys, and his paint application on that wasn't good. They weren't good. So as far as the paint application not being good on this, I think it's fine. I really don't know what the big gripes are. Skin tone could possibly be off, maybe a little bit, but it's not a deal breaker for me. It's really not. And as you can see from side to side, man, that's Anthony Hopkins, dude. And as you can see, the details are there in the forehead. And I know a lot of people There's been some, again, and Blitzway did the same thing with the Tyler Durden. There's something you do when you sculpt. You usually tool the wrinkles, the features, the minor details a lot harsher. So then when you go to prototype, when they soften out, they're still there, but they don't look as bad. Some people were griping that the details weren't as prominent, mainly because, first of all, the first pics that came out were horrible, up close, washed out cell phone pics. So no wonder the detail didn't look like it was there. Second of all, the version in the proto is similar to what they did, Blitzway did with the Tyler Durden. He looks a lot older in those prototypes. And the reason probably most likely for that is when it goes into production, they soften out and he looks a little bit younger, like he should. He's not supposed to look like he's in his 60s. You know, when 60s or almost 70s, like when he was in Silence of the Lambs. He wasn't that old of a guy yet. So again, as you can see, the details are there in the forehead. And when you look at this sculpt, and you look at the scene from the movie, this sculpt, scene from the movie. You can see he doesn't have crazy wrinkles and are that prominent. So here's the sculpt, here's the prototype, and then here's him in the film. In my opinion, the prototype does not look as accurate to the actual actor. And mainly, if they're following the philosophy that I'm speaking about, usually they are going to the prototype head, the master sculpt, is going to be tooled a little harsher. So the wrinkles, the finer details soften a little bit. Like I said, I think the Paint app is up there. Is it the greatest in the world? No. Enterbay has suffered from their mistakes. So has Hot Toys. So please, let's not act like Blitzway or Hot Toys is above and beyond reproach, as if they haven't made similar mistakes as well. And if we were to compare this to some of the mistakes that I have seen in Enterbay and through Hot Toys, or any other 1/6 scale company, I'm not putting this up there with a major mistake at all. And I know some people were complaining that they thought the eyes were cross-eyed. Once again, look at this sculpt. Look at the actor in this picture. This is the look they were going for. Generally, eyes can sometimes look like they're cross-eyed when there's a blank stare like that, but they're not. The eyes might be a little bit smaller, maybe closer to the brim of the nose, but they are not cross-eyed. They are straight. So let's drop that bullshit too, right off the bat as well. So you kind of already got an idea of this guy from the front anyway. So let me turn him around to the side and let you get the portrait shots of him, and then we'll move on to the other figure, talk some shit about that, and then move on to the accessories. So here's the right side portrait shot of the Lecter figure. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously the hair is sculpted. Paint app on the hair is supposed to give off that kind of gray kind of tone. I think the paint application on the arms are pretty good, as you can see. I think the paint application on the hands are actually very good when looking at that. I mean, the hands look fucking real to me. I don't know about you, but those look like real arms to me. Look at those elbows, man. I mean, looks pretty good. And out of the box, it looks pretty good too. When you get up to the upper arm, it could probably have some gripes, but the wrinkling in the elbow is good. I mean, you even zoom in on this sculpt, dude. You can see the wrinkles in the corner of the face. So the idea, again, that the paint application is not good on this figure is an asinine argument. And there's a lot of people that want a voice in this hobby that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm not trying to point anybody out, and it's probably not the people that you're thinking of. And if it's you and you're thinking that it's you I'm talking about, it's probably not. So relax, fellas, relax. But I think the figure's good. It's an excellent production by them, and I hate to see good figures not done justice when they're released. And for some reason, it happens the Blitzway the most. I have no idea why that is, and it's really a shame. And this is not me being biased, just because I had the opportunity to review their Ghostbusters figures before market release. I'm not sponsored by them. I have nothing to gain by them. They're not fucking paying me. You know, I'm just being honest. You know, so that's the right side portrait shot. Let me get on to the left side. I'm not going to bother showing you the back. It's kind of, oh, maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see what kind of decision I make. See you on the other side. And here's the left side portrait shot. Give you that look up and down. Overall, excellent work. I really don't have that many gripes with this figure. It's not a custom, it's a mass-produced item. It's not going to be 100% perfect for the money that you're paying. Customs are going to go anywhere from $1,000. I know some folks have the custom version of him, and they probably spent a pretty penny on that. I already know, because I've dumped probably 10 or 15,000, or almost the equivalent of, into custom figures already. So I know how much they cost. You guys have seen some of my reviews. I've paid $2,000-3,000 plus for certain figures. When it comes to the Hobo Myers that I have, some of the Jason horror figures that I have, and I expect those to be just about perfect for the money that I pay. For a mass-produced item, $260, $270, whatever this was, you know, it might be a little overpriced, especially for what you get. But, you know, I don't know. Like I said, it's not like Hot Toys doesn't do the same thing. Everyone's going to gripe about prices no matter what. And so folks who were wondering, the arms aren't articulated. You actually have to, they're not Feisten or anything like that. They don't bend. They're just a harder plastic, just, you know, basically coated over with a pretty good paint app as far as I'm concerned. And you basically, they come off, they're magnetized right at about the shoulder, and then you just pop them out. You know, I might be able to walk you through some of that, you know, in a little while in the video. So let's get to the other figure. I'm not going to bother showing you the back of this guy. We'll kind of skip over that for now. And I'll show you a little bit of the box art. This is the box art of the regular version. And I mean, look at that. Number one, that's been photoshopped. It's a lot darker. It looks like he's got crazy 5 o'clock shadow. You see the features are a hell of a lot harsher too. You know, like in the pictures that I already showed. And again, you know, they generally do that in the prototype, so that way they soften out a little bit. They did that with Durden, and people were like, oh my God, it doesn't look like the proto. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that, because he wasn't that fucking old, and he didn't look like he was 37 or 38 years old in Fight Club. So that's probably the reason why. But I mean, I know the detail looks a hell of a lot better on these figures, but he's not that old, man. He's not supposed to look like he's been through Vietnam, you know, when you look at his face. All right? Like, it looks like he's been cut up. He's been in jail for years and someone sliced him up. Now, that's not what happened to him. So he's been through some shit, yes, but he did not look like that in the movie. He didn't look war-torn. And obviously this is the box from the other figure, from the other set. All right, so let's get to the Straitjacket version in the gurney. All right, so we're gonna start with the top portion of this figure. I'm sorry if you hear a dog barking in the background. I have him back out on the patio right now, so I let him go out there every at least once a day or so and bark his ass off at everyone he sees and other dogs. He has a good time, or she has a good time rather. But anyway, so first things first, right? The mask. The mask obviously isn't spot on. Those who have the custom have a more accurate version. The Blitzway mask, apparently, it appears that it may have been something due to the rights. I initially thought when I saw it that maybe it had something to do with the fact that maybe they had a last minute kind of quality control issue. That's usually what ends up happening some of the time. And financially, there's just it doesn't make sense, or it's not feasible to then do a whole nother run of masks all over again for some reason or another, and basically do it all over again. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars that goes into making these a run of figures, and having to recreate one accessory if you already botched an entire run and you're going to do another run, costs a lot of money. But somebody in Collector Freaks, I think that's what they're going by now, no longer Sideshow Freaks due to some custom issues. But anyway, someone posted in there, this guy Robbie, I think he did a version, I think his username is Robbie the Painter. Apparently, I think he did a version. I don't know if he created it or not. I'm assuming he did. I think he sculpted a version and painted it. Looks pretty good. It's accurate to this. And obviously Blitzway used the original version, so it makes me still wonder if kind of it's a rights issue, because usually Hot Toys, if we're going by kind of the Hot Toys playbook, usually when Hot Toys doesn't have the license to something, or to the likeness, or to something, they usually don't show it, but then they sometimes break that rule as well too, though. Like if sometimes you'll see what the hell am I trying to say? You'll see a sculpt kind of blurred out, in one of their promo pics, and it's usually because they don't have the licensor approval yet, or the likeness approval, or something, because they don't have it, or it's a work in progress. Who knows? But often it's a combination of kind of those factors, usually, or something like that. But apparently, there's a gentleman or a company that owns the rights to this specific mask, and maybe Blitzway, I guess, wasn't able to work out a deal with them. But they did have it for the prototype, and they were able to use it. So maybe they were in the process of getting it, and they were allowed to use it during the prototype shots, but then that kind of fell off. Maybe that fell apart. I have no idea. But whatever. As you can see, it's not the same. So if we look at this version, and then we're going to pan over to the actual box again. Hopefully that comes into focus. As you can see, different 100%, from that. Does it still look good? I think it still does. You obviously get the idea, you know what it is, but some people are going to be looking, obviously, for another version, or a custom, so it can be more screen accurate. And I don't blame them, because I'm probably going to do the same thing. Some of the gripes, as far as, well, you know what? I'm going to cut away for a second, and then we'll pick up that thought on the next turnaround. All right, so as you can see, I kind of turned them over to the right side. Sorry if the camera's bouncing there a little bit. Tilt them over a little bit more like that. So basically, as you can see, you get basically 3 straps. You're going to put them on. The longest one I've used to put over here, because I found there was a little bit of height issues, or length issues rather. They basically snap into the sides. A little bit of a friggin' pain in the ass to do, but you'll figure it out. So the shorter one goes on the top. The second longest one, or possibly, actually, you know what? Maybe the second longest one, I believe, goes around the neck, attaches to the side, and the shortest one, like I said, is right here, and then the longest one is going to be right there. You can manipulate them. They're articulated. You can move them up and down with whatever kind of floats your boat. But those of you who are going to hate it and absolutely aren't going to be able to stand it because it's not screen accurate, you're probably not going to use it. And honestly, I'd probably use some caution as far as leaving it on there, because I like the sculpt on this version, and you kind of really got to be careful, because you may scratch the paint application on the face, and you don't want to do that, right? So just kind of be careful. So like I said, you get the 3 straps. It's relatively easy to put on. And that's really about it as far as the mask itself. It's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to try to put on. So anyway, let's pan the figure up and down, and I'll rotate them around for you, and then I'll take them out too as well, which I kind of don't want to do because it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to put them back in later on, but we'll get to it. So let's go airborne. Okay, now where they were airborne, kind of give you some kind of aerial shots of kind of the left and right, obviously up and down. Like I said, it's not screen accurate face, but even on the second sculpt too as well, you can see that the detail on the forehead and all that stuff is obviously coming through. So it's there. The detail is there, you know, once again. So here's up and down. The locks come apart. I'll probably actually show you that, how you kind of put them apart. It's not rocket science. You kind of just pull the lock portion off, and the hoop section just basically comes out, and you just slide it back in. It's not hard. And the buckles actually open up a little bit wider too as well. So I might show you that in a second actually before we rotate them around and show you the back. So 2 locks, and you get the 2 straps. This one I didn't have to adjust. I don't think you even can. So it kind of just long enough to go around the knee area, and you know, basically to get it on. This one you had to adjust a little bit, the top one, but wasn't a deal breaker as far as a pain in the ass to get it on. So overall, man, still looks dynamite though. I know there's a lot of people who spend a lot of money on customs, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but there is a lot of butthurt out there if you have the custom of this. So kind of people who spent the money on that kind of want to hate on it a little bit. And it's not everyone. I'll make that known. It's not everyone, but there are a few people out in the hobby that are just really butthurt over the fact that the sculpt on this is actually better than what they have, and they spent over $1,000 plus or whatever it was on the one already, and they're kind of mad, so they kind of half hate on it because of that. And it's not everybody. Like I said, it's just there's some people out there. And I understand. I mean, trust me, I have some customs, and I had the Rain Man Tyler Durden set, man. And let's not beat around the bush. The Blitzway one is better. It is a better sculpt, and if you get that sculpt even customized further, it looks incredible. So if you spent $1,500 or $2,000 on that figure set, trust me, I didn't spend that much. I had got it used. But I was pissed though, because I still spent like $1,000 plus on it. And when I saw the Blitzway version, I was irritated, man. But some people, they express it differently, and they get agitated, and they're like, "Oh, it sucks, man. It's not as spot on, man. The custom is better. That's why I bought the custom. It's more spot on. It's more accurate." You know, dude, if it is, awesome. But sometimes you got to be honest with yourself. And I could do it. I have the ability to do it. Most people who have customs should have the ability to do it as well. To be able to own up and man up and say, you know what? The sculpt is better on this than it is on my custom. I said that with the Tyler Durden from Rain Man. I'm saying it with this one. I don't have the custom of this one, but sometimes you just gotta man up and accept it. That's all, man. But anyway, let's move this guy around. But before I do that, let me show you the ankles, the locks, and how you take them off and put them back on. See you on the other side. All right, so let me show you quick how the lock basically comes off. So like I said, it's pretty easy. So you can basically pull it out to the side like that if you want, and basically just kind of pull. And as you can see, came off, right? And then you just kind of loop that out, and this comes open all the way like that. And I'm not going to do the other one for you because it's just wasting time, even though I am going to actually have to take this guy out anyway in a second. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to take him out. I'm going to do a 360 of the figure because I can actually show you the back of the figure because it's the gurney, and you can actually see through the plastic rails to actually show you what I'm talking about. So I'm actually not going to take him out. But anyway, simple as that. It's just a pain in the ass putting this guy back in, so I'm sorry if I ruined some people's hopes and dreams with not wanting to take him out. But it's not that big of a pain in the ass, but it is a little time consuming. So, and then you just kind of pop that right back in just like that and let it hang. And that goes, like I said, the same for the other side. So let me turn him around to the back, and then we'll unmask this guy, and we'll go from there. Woohoo! You get to see him from the side one more time. All right, guys, see you on the other side. All right, so here's the back of the figure. That's the pillow portion, the back of it essentially, where the back of the head sits. The back, as you can see, so for those that were asking, there are straps at the back of the Straitjacket. So yes, you can take them off. It is removable. So for those of you that want to do something, whatever you got in mind, you can go ahead and do it. The back buckle, as you can see, you zoom up a little bit, just hooks right on. As you can see from this side, it is adjustable, and you can do what you got to do. Like I said, the straps are there. You can take them off, and whatever you guys have in mind that you want to do, you can do essentially. So I'll actually turn this guy around to the side for you too in a second, show you how that wheel comes out, and I'll tilt him to the back just to give you an idea on how to do it. Again, not rocket science, but since I'm doing a review of the figure and I actually have a little bit more time than I normally do, I will show it to you. Okay, and like I said, I'd show you a quick video on, or part of the video. This basically can go in like that. I don't know, obviously it can't stay because I have the strap right there, but it rolls back like that and you tilt it back like that. There you go, guys. Like I said, not rocket science, man. So let me pop the mask off of this guy and go over the sculpt on him as well. And I'll run my mouth a little bit more. All right, and here is the other sculpt. And like I said, man, like what? Like the paint application isn't good? Like it's like what are folks talking about, man? And like I said, there's a lot of people in the hobby, and again, if you think it's you I'm talking about, it's probably not. It's just usually some people, some noobs in the hobby, or they think they're veterans in the hobby, or they are new to the hobby and they just don't want to admit it. And again, people are judging by shitty cell phone pics, and then it's just crazy, man. I mean, this is how the sculpt looks. This is it. This is no filter. This is how it looks like. So let's look at this. Let's look at the scene from the film, which this is kind of modeled after. And I think I mentioned in some of my picks too that the intensity of the looks are kind of gone down, but I don't mind that the intensity of the look has kind of gone down, because like the previous sculpt, he didn't look as maniacal as some of those. And again, they probably tooled the features deep enough so they would soften up and they would look more accurate to the film. So here's the sculpt right here, details, wrinkles, all in all, very expressive. And let's look at the scene from the movie, which I think it's pretty close to. And then the proto pics. So of all three, which one do you think is more accurate now? Looking at this, proto, and then the actual actor from the film. I think this looks a lot closer, if you ask me. So you can disagree with me, that's fine. I think the sculpt is awesome. And no way in hell would I not want to have both of these. And no way in hell I'm covering that face up either with a mask. So the fact that it's not accurate, I could care less. Whatever your version of an ultimate Hannibal Lecter is, it's going to be in the eye of the beholder. There are people that have Myers figures that think they have the best version. I have mine, I love it. I think I have the best version. People who have their customs of this probably think that is still the best version. And that's fine, man. It's in the eye of the beholder. The ultimate is up to you and what you like. And that's pretty much all that counts. That's all that counts, guys. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Doesn't matter what anyone tries to tell you. It is your prerogative. What you think is the best. That's what you should spend your money on. And I'm glad that at least I had the time to really put into this figure today to show you what this figure looks like. And the idea that somehow this paint application is not on par with some of Hot Toys' work or Enerbay. It just, I don't know. I think that notion is just completely batshit to me right now. So anyway, it's awesome. I love this set. I really do. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the accessories and maybe show you how to do the arm swap, maybe give you a shot of him in the chair, and then we'll close out with my final thoughts, which I pretty much kind of have already aired out already, and we'll go from there. And like as you can see, and those of you watching this video have already seen the horrible pics that have been shown in the Facebook groups. So here, Here it is in its actual glory in fucking 4K. So those pics that people are showing that make this sculpt look absolutely horrible, it is not. And if you somehow think that the horrible pics, as opposed to this, are more accurate than the fucking video that I'm showing you, then I can't help you. I can't help you. You're in the wrong hobby, and you're doomed to make decisions that are going to be really bad. I don't know, but like I said, this is what the sculpt looks like. So what people are doing to their photos, and I've said this before, there are people that are literally, and I was joking around in my one of my pics when I first released these pics in the groups. I added 2 horrible cell phone pics under my ceiling fan light, which is generally what people do when they first open their figures. They open their figures up in their living room under their light, whatever it is. It's usually warm light because most people don't have natural daylight LED lights or natural daylight bulbs in their home. And they're like, oh my God. And I've done it. I've opened up custom figures under shitty light, and I'm like, oh my God, this looks awful. And then, but I know better than that. And I put it under display light, and it looks incredible. So this, I don't understand. Like, people do it, and then they don't do themselves any favors. They take pictures and then they put them on the internet or in Facebook or on Instagram. And it's just, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't know. As you can see, this has really irritated me, man. And it really has. It's really fucking pissed me off. And I'm kind of animated today for this video. So anyway, there you go. And let's get to the accessories real quick. All right, so you get the grilled mask to put on his head. Let me get that in focus for you. That's actually cool. I would actually, honestly, because of how good this sculpt is, I would actually keep the graded mask on, if anything, so that way I can actually still see his face. I like the idea of that more. You know, obviously, and you can manipulate and futz around with it a little bit more. I don't have it on there the best right now, as you can see. So I don't think that you can't get it to kind of look a little bit better than that. But that's one accessory, obviously. You get the sign, which is pretty cool. You know, the hurt, agony, pain, says love it, and then pride too on it as well. The significance of that is kind of a little bit more focused on some of the trends in the film. I like that they added it for the most part. And you get the handcuffs too as well, as you can see. And you also get a knife as well and a chair. The chair I'm going to show you in a second. You get the baton too, obviously, as well. But you get a switchblade or a knife, and I fat fingered it and broke it. So I'm not going to show it to you broken. But you do get that, which is not pictured, well, but it's not pictured. And again, I'll show you the chair because I'll do a quick pose with him in the chair. Oh, and you get the carpet. You get the rug, which is made out of like a little canvas kind of material. And the one thing that I will definitely take some points off for, and again, I don't know what I'm going to rate this as, a little paint rub on the hand. Trying to put it in. The hands are a little tight, and so you may even I even tried to use some heat, blow dry it a little bit to expand it, but when it went in, it rubbed the paint off anyway. So it is what it is. I don't plan on selling it, and even if I do, yeah, I'm usually pretty fair. I knock some money off of it for any kind of issues like that. So that's pretty much it, guys, as far as accessories. So let's show you a quick sitting pose with the other Hannibal, and keep moving. All right, and here he is sitting in the chair. It's a shame you can't, the legs don't fully touch the ground. I don't know what it is. Maybe in the film his legs didn't touch the ground, who knows? You know, I'm not sure. But I like it though. I love him sitting in the chair like that. I think I might actually pose him that way inside the detolf. Then you got the rug. Wish his feet touch the ground. Kind of angle the feet down a little bit if you need to. But like you see, as you can see, it looks badass, man. I mean, that is Anthony Hopkins, dude. That is Hannibal Lecter. Incredible piece, man. Incredible piece. I think this is an excellent endeavor by Blitzway. 100%. So, all right, there's that. It's basically the other accessory. So I was gonna show you the him with the other arm pose, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it because I have the shots up on Instagram or in the Facebook group, so most people have seen it. But I'll put a shot up on my Instagram as well, so you guys can see it there as well. Now towards the end of this, I am getting a little bit short of time. I'm running my mouth, talking some shit, getting myself kind of irritated. But anyway, let me put both of them out. And what I'll do too, the one thing I will show you is the arms, the inside. They're magnetized too as well. So let me show you that real quick, the inside, and then we'll close out on my overall thoughts, which I've pretty much aired out for everyone. All right, let's get to it. So as promised, let me show you the inside since I have them already on him. I don't know if this is going to come through, but the arm itself, as you can see, comes off like that. It's basically chopped off here at the top. I don't know if that's coming through or not, if you can see it. There's some metal magnets in there. And so this will go up to about right here, and you have the little the figure shoulder joints, the deltoid joints essentially right there. And you just slide them back on. This you got to manipulate. Sometimes they don't, if you leave them all the way up on him, they don't quite touch the chair, so you kind of bring them down a little bit. But it's all right, you know, it doesn't bother me that much. Some people are going to piss and moan and cry like babies over it. It doesn't really bother me though. As you can see, it looks fucking good. So let's put all these guys side by side, close out, and close this pony show. All right, so, and final thoughts, man. I like this set. Like I said, folks who have the custom, you don't need to upgrade. You don't need to buy it. If you're happy with the custom, keep it. If you got the custom mask, you can replace it and put it on this one. So if it's accuracy you're looking for, you can do what you got to do. If you don't need it, you don't want it, you don't like it, and if I have some of the hate out there, if it's, you know, you're really holding on to it, then don't get the figure, man. Cancel your pre-order, don't buy it, because trust me, there's someone out there that will, that doesn't have a custom, and they will gladly take this off your hands, especially if it's as horrible as you say. You may also want to sell it for less than what you got it for, which will really get it off your hands quite quickly. So price-wise, I think might be a little elevated, but you know, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know. I almost forget how much the retail is on these. I think it was like $280 or $290 per fig or something like that. So yeah, I would definitely agree that it's definitely a little too expensive. I think the price point on this might be a little bit too much, but depending on what they put in to this figure, as far as effort, finances, you know, I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know what their costs out of pocket were, what their production costs were. So who knows? Maybe it is in line. You know, it is what it is. So all right. So here we go with the dog barking again, and hopefully he stops. All right, good. He might start again. I don't know. But like I said, for those of you, for some people, this is going to be your ultimate Hannibal. It is pretty much for me, for the most part. The mask isn't a make or break deal for me. There's also some other issues in this figure that you could nitpick at, and you could probably grill over. But overall, I'm happy, man. For the price, it's damn good for a licensed product. It's damn good. So I'm happy with it. And like I said, because of how good I think this sculpt is, you're definitely not going to see me putting a mask on that face. Number one, scratching it, and two, even though it is, this scene is very classic, I like that you can see the sculpt with this on. So, at least a little bit anyway. So overall, man, if I had to rate it on a 10, the overall package deal with everything as far as a mass-produced product, the price points and everything, probably going to give it like a 7.5, 7.5 all around. Sculpts are pretty damn good. I'd probably shoot them around a 7.5 as well, 7.5 to an 8, maybe even better for some people. But I'd definitely give it a 7.5 or an 8. So overall, man, that's really about it, guys. I hope I was able to show you what these figures actually look like as far as the detail and what you get with them and so on. And I hope I helped some people make up their minds, and I hope I made some people decide whether or not, you know, essentially make up your mind whether or not you want to get this or not. And if you're not, and I gave you what you needed to make that choice, good. But you folks out there with the bad cell phone pics, man, just stop. Please, just stop. Oh yeah, and that's another accessory. Let me zoom up in. I almost forgot. You get the pen. And I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I might have, but yeah, you do get that little pen too as well, which is very significant from the film, as we all know. And sorry I didn't do a pose with him again with the baton, police baton, but I'll have photos on my Instagram. Those of you in the groups have already seen them, so it's not like you're gonna be missing out on too much. And like I said, you check my Instagram in a few hours, couple days, day after tomorrow, who knows? I'll have them up. So, all right, guys. As we say, deuces.